Okay, so this is the video to explain how to fill in the activity sheet for childcare. So you can see there I filled in some parts of this which will help you in how you fill it in. So the name there, just put in your name, the date, the week number, and whether you attended or not. And just circle whichever is the most relevant subject. So I've just chosen the art carton, the egg carton art project. So I've just highlighted the art there. So rather than circling it, you can just highlight it. So the name of the activity is egg carton art. So I've just put in the image of it. The materials used, so put in all the materials you use. And you've done this in class already, so it's really just a matter of putting in what you did in class yourself. So the time plan, how long it took to do. So I guess for this it would take about an hour to 2 hours, depending on the detail and the age of the child or children you're doing with. The room and equipment required, so work on tables or on the floor, and there's no special equipment needed. The general aim of the activity, what will the outcome be? To create a fun or theme-based figure from egg cartons. So what will the learning outcomes be for the project? So the children will learn to attach maybe the egg carton to one another, to match up. Maybe it's matching. That's the learning in it. And maybe the type of project that you have picked. Maybe there's some sort of learning that you want to identify. Maybe they learn to use a scissors or whatever. So you need to fill that in. So this is the part where you would put in your images that you've been taking in class. So this would help you with the step-by-step instructions for how to make the project. So I have an explanation on your page, but it's really just a matter of going into pictures, into your pictures file, choosing an image. I'm just going to choose this one and insert. Okay. And with images you could just reduce it, catch it in the corner and reducing it up small. And so this might be step 1, and then describe what you do, moving on to step 2, step 3. Okay. So how will the children benefit from this activity? So you've said it already really in your learning, what will be the benefits of the learning. So the learning, what will the benefits be for this project? So one will be what I've said there is might be working together, if that's a benefit, using materials that maybe using junk materials, and that might be new to them, so they can see the possibilities in things that you might throw away. There are many, you can go down through this, and I'd like to see lots in there. So think about all the benefits of using the particular activity with children. Age group, so where do you think this might be suitable for? So this kind of project would be suitable probably from about 3.5 to 5, 6, right up to, could be 10 or 11, so really to right the whole way up. How would you make this activity more inclusive? So this is where I'd like you to look at this link, have a look at this and see. Let's just open it up there now. And this is the principles of universal design, which means that we represent information in a number of different ways so that children with disabilities can understand. The internet is quite slow at the moment, so I'll go back to what I'm just showing you here. So I want you to look at this link and just to looking at the information to see how you could make this activity more inclusive based on the information you'll read there. How would you adapt the activity to suit inside or outside there? I think it wouldn't be an outside activity, so probably just write that in there. Simplify the activity. The activity might be, you might just make it so there's very little additions to it. So just looking at the image here, you might add in another again an image of something that might be quite more simple, more straightforward, than the one you have. Variations, again, using images, going into the internet, having a look at images and copy and paste. So this would be another way to show that you've kind of looked at other ideas. Don't be afraid to add in lots of images as well. Okay, so this is our linking to Ashter, and in your handbook I have all the posters of Ashter, and I've added in just the aim to there, and to collaborate with others and share interest in solving problems and use their creativity and imagination to solve problems. So I've just added in that there, but I want to see lots more here, looking at all the posters and seeing where the aims and learning goals might be, and I want you to write them in this way under each of those for each of the activities you'll do. Some of you may have some training in Montessori or high scope, and again I'd like to see you maybe making comments on how that might fit with that particular model or curriculum and ways of working. Some people do have those trainings, so if you do, make use of that there. If you don't and you want to know a little bit more about it, maybe check those curriculums and see how that might fit in. Safety concerns. So I wouldn't have any particular safety concerns for this project. So the level of risk would be low. So could this activity link to an external activity? So if you were to take a trip to an egg farm, or a castle. So extensions of the activity then is where we would maybe link to science or geography or history or maths, and I think one or two of you did activities there that were linking to the maths, so I think that's a really good way. So try and integrate as much as possible how you would maybe, so it might be counting the egg cartons. So it might be counting the egg cartons, or it might be what happens when the carton gets wet. It's made of paper. You know, so it's exploring things like that with them. It's also like looking up maybe science projects or things that you might be using with egg cartons, or geography. You might be able to bring in something maybe about hills or something like that. History as well. Try and bring in something that you could work with that. So again, it's just to get you to think about it. Literacy, using the word. So one of the ways with literacy is to use the word, maybe to write it down somewhere, the word egg, and put it with the egg itself. So you might have an egg with it, or an egg carton, or maybe show the front of the egg carton and write and talk about the words around it. So what would you be talking about then? To talk about with the children, like what kind of conversations will you have when you're doing this activity? So what will you be talking about? So one of the questions might come up is, where do eggs come from? And other kinds of questions, and having conversations like that. So you'll find there'll be a lot of questions in here and things you'll talk about. Problem solving. So this is anticipating the types of problems that might come up when you're working with the activity, and then trying to help the children resolve or ask questions or solve the problem themselves. So it's really about what kinds of things will come up there. So I want you to write those down. Evaluation. So what did you think of the activity? So it's really your thoughts on it. And this is here then is additional information. So I've just put in a link that I came across, and I've just dropped it in there. You don't need any references here. So again, any other images that you might like to bring into that, that's a good place for it. So copy paste. Okay, lots of ideas in that. Okay. And then the summary, this is your own learning. And I'd like to see a lot more than just 4, but really, because after each one you will be thinking about what it is you did learn. So what did you learn about this, doing this yourself? And it might point you as well towards maybe what the children might learn too. So have a think about that when you're thinking about your own learning.